Good morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. It's good to be back with you on such a beautiful day as today, a fantastic weekend. It's good to be on this side of life. And you know what? Every day we ought to give it all that we got because we only have one life on this side. Right. So good morning to you, radio listeners. And we're talking about men's all the month of June since we have Men's Day coming up in this month. Fathers, brothers, sons, uncles, grandfathers, men wear so many hats. So I have here with me Mr. Dwayne Fulton until our other guest arrives. And he's going to share with us. He'll be coming in shortly, hopefully. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Good morning.
All right. I asked you a question before we came on air. The question was, what do you want for Father's Day?
Well, I got a lot of, all my kids are college grads, and my grandkids, they got them on the right. What I want for Father's Day is for our youth to get it together, stop all this shooting, stop all this anguish and hate, and just get it together and be successful in life and help one another. I just want peace in the community and throughout the world because this is a problem we have everywhere.
And you're right. And you know, sometimes I listen to music, just pass it by. I'm driving and maybe a person just playing their music up loud and calling one another niggers and all of this kind of stuff. Well, what can we do about that? You know, this like being against one another.
My grandfather told me, it ain't what they call you, is what you answer to. Mm-hmm. Now, if you answering to all that, there's a problem. And the problem is, we call each other that all day, but let that white man or that white woman call us that, or you got to fight. Mm-hmm. Now, we need to, in my classroom, you can say that word. I made it perfectly clear. Don't let it slip. Don't, if you say it too much, I will take that referral out and put on there language. Mm-hmm. Because folks were hung, dogs was let on us, folks died, and we weren't trying to do nothing but have peaceful voting rights and marches, and that was the word they put on us. Mm-hmm. Now, I heard some black folks say you got three different types of blacks. You got black folks, you got Negroes, and then you have NIGGERs.
What's the difference between the three?
Well, black folks is who we are. Can't change that. A Negro is how we identify ourselves on the job, how we carry ourselves, proud, bold. The NIGGER just don't care. I'm going to call everybody else this word, and I could care less what you call me. But I hear more young ladies call each other BITCH. Mm-hmm. I don't get over that one. But it's in the music. Mm-hmm. And you hear it down the hall. That's my blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. Guys, that's my NIGGER. What happened to, that's my homeboy. That's my friend. Mm-hmm. That's my road dog. Those words went right out the window. To the words of the rappers who started a lot of this. Wasn't no pants sagging until the rappers started doing that.
And in the prison, you saw some that came out of prison that was doing it?
Well, you pants sag in prison, that means you're available. Mm-hmm.
So, why would you want to imitate, though, someone in prison?
Why would you want to show your behind and your drawers anyway? I never understood that.
I haven't either. It's just sending a bad signal.
No belt. The belt is not being used on you to make you act right or to hold your pants up. The belt just don't lost its identity.
Is that predominantly in the African American community? Now we kind of switch.
Well, it's predominantly with African Americans, black folks, but look at a lot of these white boys, hats cocked, pants sagging. Mm-hmm. They don't follow suit. And so therefore, it's a national thing. It's a what they say, trend.
Have we kind of slacked up on that though? Is it less than it used to be?
Well, here's what America don't see it. I don't care if your hat cocked. I don't care if your pants sag. Stop shooting. Mm-hmm. Stop killing each other. So therefore, I can put up with the pants sagging and the hat or whatever else, but stop all the shooting. Stop the violence. That's a lot of folks are saying.
You know, out of the home comes a lot of these different things that we're dealing with sometimes, not all the time. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's in the environment or who you're running with, your friends mm-hmm. and your buddies.
Peer pressure.
Mm-hmm. Or wanting to be bad or show out.
Tough.
Get some attention. But we got to do a better job of trying to help our young people. We really do.
Yeah.
As a community.
Well, we can't help them, Miss Earnestine, if they don't want to help themselves. Or we can't help them. If we can help them all we want, we talk to them till we blue in the face. But as soon as they get home, somebody there going to help you throw that out the window. Because that don't mean nothing in what I say, blah, blah, blah.
At least we can make the effort.
Right.
At least we can say we tried.
Right.
You know, somebody will take heed. Not everybody's going to go down the wrong road.
Yeah. Well, we save some.
Yeah.
Some we can't save, and some just want to be left behind because that's the peer pressure, the lot of kids now don't have the morale in the what's the word for these young ladies? Not morale, but
image. Would it be image?
Image, yeah, because you mold your image of who you want to be and who you try to be. Mm-hmm. Self-esteem.
Yeah.
That's the word I was looking for, self-esteem.
Mm-hmm.
We have a lot of people don't know. Their self-esteem levels are low. For what reason, we don't know. It could be something at home, it could be something personal, or it could be something out and about, school, and
Right, because a lot of times, if you don't know who you are, and parents have to really help their children have that identity of right. who they should be, that you don't have to accept anything. And until that begins to happen, children start taking on other personalities, following other people, sometimes that are going the wrong way, because they don't know who they are.
We have a lot of followers, not enough leaders. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's not. If you're gonna follow, make sure you follow somebody that's going in the right direction, not the wrong direction, that you can build an image or some character off of. Not a person that's showing you the wrong things to do, and then you got a lot of these little kids look up to older teenagers and adults and want to be like them. Mm-hmm. So they're gonna implement what they see.
Right. And growing up without a father, that don't help the situation either. I know, some single parents have done a wonderful job,
right,
of raising boys.
But that's that mama who don't play.
That's that mama who don't play.
Right. You're gonna get your education. You're gonna do well, and you're gonna be a nice young man, even though it's not one here.
She has to be tough, and sometimes she has to take on two roles,
right,
as far as
right.
Making that money and mm-hmm. trying to keep the family together. So she has to be strong.
Miss Earnestine, I'm saying something. She has to be strong, but she also have to realize that right is right, wrong is wrong. Mm-hmm. If you stand up for wrong, the kids got you.
Mm-hmm. Right. I shared this story before, and this is a true story of this he's a man getting ready to go to the gas chamber. Mm. And he told his mom that when I brought that bike home, You didn't even ask me where it came from. You helped me write it. When I brought the money home, you helped me to spend it.
Right.
So, you don't, a parent should never enable their child to do wrong. And I said, Mom, you're the cause of all of this.
Yeah.
Because she didn't correct him, but help enable him.
Right. Let him know it was okay.
Let him know it was okay.
Right. Right.
Let me grab this call. Good morning, caller.
Good morning. How are you? The gentleman, I think I've heard his voice before. Not the same one I heard last week.
That's right. It's Mr. Dwayne Fulton.
Mr. Fulton, how you doing, sir?
Doing great. Good morning. How you doing?
You good to hear you there. Listen, I've heard you saying that, somebody was saying that our kids, African American kids have a different, what I want to say. It's different from them in this country from anybody else because it was different from us as people, in other words. And the system was never about upgrading us, but the system was about upgrading other European immigrants, not us, our people. Mm-hmm. But here's what we have to do. And sometimes we get disgusted when we're trying to help our kids when they don't have a dad or a mother who understands life. But we have to keep going because we have to make them right so they can help the generation coming behind them.
Right.
So when I came along, my age group, probably you would be my grandchild. The community we had a community thing where any parent, any grown person would chastise, so to speak, the children or make them do right. But later on, that changed when the parents started using drugs, drinking alcohol, and being disrespectful. The few parents who had their children trying to read us didn't want them to be involved in. So it's, that old saying is, I think in the African proverb or something saying that it takes a village to raise a child. And it does take a village. We can't do it alone because they're not going to be with us every day of our lives. We have to depend on the community, we have to depend on the teachers, and the way we carry ourselves in front of our children. And here's what I learned, brother, you and the sister, if you give me a moment. I'm 80-something years old, I have about 20 more to be around here to talk to y'all, but here's what we have to do. We have to be patient with our children. And we have to make sure that we show them being patient respect. And I find in a community where grown people respect the children and respect the community, those children will listen to the bad to white children will listen to respectful neighborhood and respectful people in their neighborhood.
All right, Mr. Robert, our guest has arrived. We're going to let him talk. He got a lot to share with us today.
Well, let him go ahead. But again, let me just make this observation. We can never give up on our children, no matter what, because as I said before, the system of government doesn't look after our children. It's just left it up to us. For all other children, the system of government look after. And I'll just hang up and listen to him.
Okay.
This line open in case somebody wants to call.
All right. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm blessed.
Good. Tell us your name and tell us about yourself.
Oh, well, my name is Justin Trayvon Brewer, and I have a barbershop on Garden Boulevard, which is called the Gorilla Face Barbershop. And I've been in business for going on 4 years now, but since I even have my own shop, I've been on that area since about almost a year now.
All right. I know you got a testimony. Would you share your testimony with us?
Oh, yes, ma'am. Well, I started barbering when I was in incarceration, during my incarceration. Mm-hmm. And I went from there, and like during my incarceration, it was kind of hard or whatever. But but at the end of the day, I overcome a lot of obstacles during that situation, and I kind of took that barbering that I learned from there and tried to let it manifest out here.
What did you learn while you were incarcerated?
Just how to carry myself better, just as an individual, just how to control myself as a man, just learned a lot of different things about myself that I felt like I didn't have time for when I was in the street.
Oh wow! So
I had time to think.
Having time to think.
Yes, ma'am.
And so you decided you was going to do, better when you got out.
Yes, man. I just wanted to do better for myself when I got on the other side. I just wanted to be an example for the younger generation as well. And I just want to, like, right now I'm working on a college, and I'm a barber college, and I'm hoping that goes forth. I'm putting a lot of effort and time into it, but for the most part, I just want to be an example for the past, like my younger generation, and for the guys that's still out there that just don't have a sense of direction.
So, what would you like to say to individuals maybe that could prevent them from going to prison?
Well, I could say try to avoid hanging with the wrong crowd. Just pay more attention to, like, just be more seen to listen than just take action on something. Just be patient with yourself. Put a lot of work into being a better person, and just try to avoid things that that's gonna keep you down.
Mm-hmm. The people you run with can have a great influence upon you.
Most definitely can.
So, was that your case?
Yes, man. I can say it was, but at the end of the day, I'm still like a lot of decisions I made was pretty much my own fault. So I really just can't, put it on somebody else. But other than that, I feel like my mom used to always tell me, like, when you make your own bed, you gotta lay in it. So a lot of things to be your own personal choice.
Do you want us to tell us about what caused you to go there? You don't have to if you don't want to. But
I can just say, I can say peer pressure. I can say just being under the influence of drugs, or just a lot of different things. Just just having the wrong mindset at an early age.
Mm-hmm. Did you have your father in your life?
Yes, ma'am.
How important part did he play in your life?
I mean, I don't really got too much to say on it, but he played a good part in my life. He was a good role model.
That's great. That's great. That's great. But you say you made the choice.
Yes, ma'am.
So would you say now you got to have the right information to make the right choices?
Yes, ma'am. It's good to have good leadership and good role models. Like, role models can play a strong part in just your day-to-day living. Because you can often see people do something and you'll kind of follow suit thinking it's right, and they can really be leading you down the wrong path. So I just say having a good role model can really help you out a lot.
So in while you were incarcerated, did you have a God encounter or?
Yes, ma'am. I used to pray a lot. I used to write my own sermons in my own book. I think I still have them at home. I just have to look through some of my old stuff that I have. But I used to write my own little mini sermons, and I used to study in the morning. I used to get up early. I get up early before everybody else was up. I'd be up like 4:30 in the morning, do my little workout, read my Bible, pray. I kind of kept myself on a routine. It kind of helped me kind of humble myself too and get my mind right.
So are you saying you're a preacher?
I ain't gonna say that.
You say you was getting your sermons together.
I can understand it well though. I can understand it well though, but I ain't gonna say I'm a preacher though.
He just
if the Lord lead me that way, I won't be afraid to take up that mountain.
So did you have a God encounter while you was there?
Yes, ma'am.
What happened?
I just have a God encounter every day.
What started initially? What happened?
I just say, like I said at first, like, you just having that time to think, and not always being on the fast pace, but just having that time to think and just, God have his way of showing you, like, how to get right.
Did you have any preachers that came in there and share with you all?
We had plenty. We had churches. They had churches events. They had them seldomly. They have them a lot. They have plenty of events.
So that the teaching kind of help you, come to a point and make better decisions.
Yes, man. I want to be a teacher because, like I said, it just being a role model in somebody's life. I feel like at the mindset I'm at now, I feel like I can help bring up the youth to a better light than what we used to endure.
Other than getting with the wrong crowd, what would you say to maybe young people to avoid being institutionalized? What are some other things you can do?
Man, listen to your parents. Don't be hard-headed. Always take good advice. Just try to stay in the right direction. Keep you a job. Stay consistent on your goals, your careers, things that you want to do, things that that'll help better your life.
Sir, so I have a question.
Come on with your
We have a
question.
young man right here. Your name is?
My name is Johnny.
John, how old are you, Johnny?
18.
18. Now, look, we got a young man here, 18. You on live. This is being showed on Facebook and everything. From a standpoint of being 18, how do you feel what's going on out there today, man, this community? Well, all over the world with all the shooting and all this stuff.
You know, it's a lot. And most of them, like you said, role models and leadership.
Right.
That's what some people need, and some people didn't have that.
That's true.
So one thing, you know, it's so much, you know, all the wickedness and stuff going on and stuff like that. I just try to remain humble through it all, like distance myself, and that's why everybody needs to do.
Right.
Because it's not everybody battle. Like everybody don't, you know, have to, you know, if you came up like that.
Right.
You feel me?
Right.
So that's why, me personally, the best thing is like to always, like you said, keep a job, get your goals, and do everything you need to be done.
Right.
Do it all.
He works with him.
Oh, you work for him. So he kind of like modeling some things before you.
Yes, man. He actually does. He actually do. You know, I come in
Try
there.
to be a good mentor to him.
I come in there. He work hard. You know, he tells me the real. So you know, anything I need to ask him, I ask him. He tell me the real, and you know, he work hard, and it showed me like, you know, hey, that's how it's supposed to be done. So you know, role models like him, you always gotta have on your side as you going forward in life.
But that's good. That's good. So are you? Have you graduated from high school yet?
Yes, ma'am. I go to college right now, LCC, for computer engineering.
That's good.
Yes, ma'am.
I see you had this young man sitting right here. Did
I,
you turn
you
around?
know, I wanted to say something to him, but you know, sometimes people
Graduate
might not be
college.
kind of have a little mic fright that I didn't know, you know. But I was gonna get to it.
I love Mike Frank.
But that's great though, man. That is
Yes,
awesome.
sir.
That sounds like you got your head on straight.
Yes, man. I try my best. I try.
It ain't where you from.
It ain't where you from.
It's where you at. There you go.
So did you have your father in your life?
Oh yes, ma'am. I'm a junior, and my father still in my life to this day. You know, that's one of my best friends. Honestly, you know, sometimes he might get on my nerves, but that's what fathers do. Though. That's what fathers do. Though. That's what they there for. I love my father.
Father's Day coming up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think children that have their father involvement in their life is definitely an advantage. Maybe of those that are not stepping up to the plate and taking their responsibility.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Because one thing, like I always kind of said, like my mother, she raised me. Don't get me wrong, my father was there, but I lived with my mother. But when I moved with my pops, when I was like about 16, 17, it showed me way more than I thought I would know. Like I'm thinking, like I'm a full man, but living with him, he just added on to me, like this is real. This is real. Like you finna grow up. So that's what. So moving my father, that was one of the best decisions, though. Honestly, so it kind of takes a man to raise a man. Honestly.
That's true.
I believe that. I believe that young men need that male figure, that male input to really show them how to be a man, because a woman never been a man.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
So that's a great thing, and you are following and being mentored. Right
This
here.
is streaming live on Facebook, right? You go to
No, this is on YouTube today.
YouTube. Okay,
On YouTube.
you go to that and follow up this interview.
Yeah.
I'm actually on YouTube too.
Exactly. I'm on YouTube.
Well, you're on that live right now.
I got a YouTube channel.
All right. I gotta go and check you out.
I do a barber and script videos on it.
That's great.
That's awesome.
That's wonderful. So you love what you do, and you
Yes,
do what
ma'am.
you love.
Yes, man.
How did you know that you had this talent to cut hair?
Well, I always liked the art, but like I said, I learned when I was in prison. I used to watch those guys cut with a razor and comb, and I was always fascinated by it. Like, man, how they cut hair with just a comb and just a little shaving razor, you know, like they doing whole haircuts with it. So I always wondered. I was like, man, how they really doing it? So I ended up moving to another facility that actually had a school, and I actually ended up going to that school, and it just went from there.
Oh wow!
But like I said, I always like the art. I always like to draw, and cutting hair is pretty similar to it.
So you're doing things that you never want to go back there.
You know, I never want to go back.
Is it what
and
people?
you know, just cutting hair, it take me away. You know, when I'm cutting it puts me in a whole nother zone. I ain't really just thinking, like I'm in my own world at that point.
Do you ever have any struggles with some of the things that caused you to go there?
No, ma'am. I just try to stay on the right path these days.
That's good. That's good. And I'm sure you're telling him some of the things to avoid.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. It's great to have you all here today. So, are you a father yet?
No, ma'am.
Not a father yet.
One day.
One day you want to get married?
Yes, ma'am.
So you kind of waiting on the right person.
Yeah, you gotta wait on the right person sometimes.
Don't rush.
Push for forever to find one, but in the meantime, don't rush. Just let it come to you.
There you go.
All right. He that finds a wife, you got to find her.
Yes,
Finds
ma'am.
a good thing.
He didn't find his wife, found his good thing.
So he's supposed to see out. He's supposed to pursue her, right? Full
Yeah.
time?
Yeah, but hey, there's a shortage of
Hey,
good
these
men.
days you gotta
So
meet her halfway now. You gotta meet her halfway now.
Yeah. This young man can tell you they outnumbered out there.
Yeah.
So them girls really, they more aggressive and they step up. Yeah.
It's still not supposed to be like that.
That's what they do, though.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Really?
I promise.
Why you say that?
It's
hard for her these days, man.
it's hard. I mean, I had my fair share at being 18. Experiencing, all the women, but at the same time, it's just more aggressive. Like, I don't.
Do you think that? Do you like a woman pursuing you?
It's interesting. It's interesting because, like, if a woman pursue you, that means like she sees something in you. Like, and really, women, like, one thing about women, they ain't gonna really say nothing, but they really say something to you first. They must be really interested. So I'm like, what makes her so interested?
Right.
Yeah, I'm just like, now I'm talking to her, interested in her, because I'm just like wondering what she like in me. So that's how that kind of goes. So it's not bad. It's kind of cool.
You find out about yourself.
You find out about yourself,
Right.
Because they see things that we don't even see. Like, we don't even see.
We got a call.
All right, let's grab this call. See who we have on this call. Good morning, caller.
I'd like to ask a young man who was incarcerated, what was the ratio of African Americans and Europeans, black boys and white boys?
There's a lot of African Americans. It's a strong ratio.
So would you say 60-40 or what?
I say 60-40.
60-40. 60% African American, 40% Caucasian.
But you see more African American than you see Caucasian.
Why is that?
Man, I got a lot to say about incarceration sometimes, but I'm kind of biased on when it comes to speaking on incarceration because it can go either way.
I will say
sometimes you can
this.
create your own puddle. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you can be a target. So
It's a double standard to a lot of
standard.
things. Yep.
Double standard. Okay.
The main two reasons, in my opinion, are lack of fathers and the system. Those two. The system is not fair to African Americans. And if a father is not in the child life, not all children have, not all kids go astray when the father's not in their life, but oftentimes that happens when the father's not a good father now. I'm not talking about just somebody who produces sperm. A good father, what he does is he nurtures his children, make sure that they stay away from the harmful things. But the system is harder on African American males than they are Caucasian males. The unfairness of this governmental system, the legal system in this country, has always been. I've been in 80-some years, and I know. But our boys have to walk with what they call a sharp line. You have to make sure that they don't have anything to make sure you stay out of the things that will get you into the system. Because once you get into the system, you can never be the same, based on what I've observed. But to the young man who's been there, you should go back to the prison and tell the young people some ways to stay out, because it's better out than in my opinion. But anyway, I just wanted to know if the ratio of African Americans, because in this country, we're about 15% of whatever the population.
13%, I think, Mr. Robert.
Well, 13, 15%. They don't count all of them. But again, and we're about, I think, African American youngsters in prison is about 60%, 7%. And that means unfairness in the system. But you have to avoid it. In other words, those deer out there in the woods with those long antlers, they didn't come up to the hunters and try to make friends with them. They hid from them.
All right, dear Mr. Robert.
make that out.
All right. Oh,
Yes, ma'am.
all right. Mr. Fulton and I was talking before you came about, African Americans calling one another niggers, and like we oppress one another. Sometimes we think the system is oppressing us, but sometimes that oppression is coming from the system that we begin to oppress one another. How can we do a better job? Your nigger and all of this.
I can say, just kind of like I try to try to create a neutral background, like especially when people come to my shop. Like I don't allow like certain conversations, or like I don't even like people talk about violence around me. Like I instantly make them switch the subject. So it's like I say, it's just all about what you present, what kind of aura that you create. And that's how I feel like that's the kind of respect people will give. So I mean, it's all about just learning to give each other self-respect.
I went in one lady's beauty shop. She had a sign that says "No gossiping here."
I'm the same way. Like, if anything negative, leave it outside that door.
Right.
How do you feel the language content of young people today?
I feel like it mostly had to do with like things they see, like the music they hear, or things they see on television or anything like that. If we just change we change things. We look at more positive gonna come out of us because that's what we see. But if we keep looking at this stuff that's just like violence and always negative energy, that's how they gonna come out. It's all about what you take in.
Yeah. What about some of the games? Some of them have a lot of violent content in them. And I know I'm kind of stepping on some toes right now.
I say any type of entertainment, games, movies, TV shows.
Yeah.
A lot of things. So it's like what you said. I said whatever image you present to see over and over and over again, eventually you'll feel like there's some right in it.
Eventually.
I'm 61 years old. I'm throwing some knowledge out here. Because I know y'all got to go. It's like 10:42. What we got to realize is why gangs was formed. Folks don't understand why gangs was formed. In Chicago, the whites used to go down to the black neighborhoods and take advantage of black folks. So therefore, the biggest gangster of them all, Al Capone, told black folks, y'all need to unite. And that's why in Chicago, the gangs came up. I mean, you got your vice lords, your gangsters, your stones, all of it, and even with the Latin Kings, they all came up in Chicago, different sides, for the simple fact to protect their neighborhoods. A lot of folks don't know that.
Right.
The gangs rose up to protect their own,
right,
not to hurt somebody else or battle you. They came up. The Italian gangs, the mafia, told black folks, unite. So that's how it started. But a lot of folks don't understand that.
Right. I was more speaking of games in the home, the game, with your finger.
Oh, Lord.
that you play. Now, there is violent content in those games too, right?
Yeah. Fortnite and all that stuff.
Yeah, it is. It's violence. But, you got to know, like, you just gotta if you just strongly mind to know, like, not to do that in real life.
You gotta know what.
You gotta have common sense. Right. It just comes.
You get around it.
It just comes
sometimes.
What about the violence in the music?
Music, that actually does plays a part because you rapping these lyrics and then you hearing it over and over again. So now it's really kind of because music is really a strong thing, whether you know it or not. It's like when the tune get in your head and everything, like you'll think of a song out of nowhere. That's pretty strong if something come on your mind like that. Mm-hmm. So you keep hearing about this kill stuff. Eventually you're gonna be like, well, so and so I can't, might as well. It's cool. Like exactly, they think it's cool. That's what I'm saying. That's why it's like music actually does play a very big part.
Mm-hmm. Did some of the music come out of the prison system?
Yeah.
Did it?
I don't know. I can't speak on the med part. I ain't know much of a music man.
A lot of the music, the blues came from slavery.
I say some of your best music come from, when you endure, the hard time.
Right.
I mean, hey, some of your best songs came from more hard.
That's where the blues came from.
Addict, prison.
Right down there in the Delta, the blues,
slavery, all types of stuff. So, hey, sometimes the best music come out of, Hard times.
Hard times.
Should we still be singing those hard lyrics sometimes?
It depends on the song.
He said something. He said a valuable point. He said, whatever situation you in, you have a song that'll take you to that moment.
Yep. It's like you got a love song. You want to make you feel good, make you think about a certain person.
But you want to program your mind with songs of violence.
Yeah,
like
all
you
day.
was talking about.
Refresh your mind.
Kill,
It's just some gospel
like, doing dumb stuff. And it's all in the song. It sounds good. The song might sound good, but overall the song is not good. Like, it just doesn't make sense. That's how I feel. I can't listen to a song that doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm. It can be deadly somewhat because you're releasing certain evil spirits sometimes with those lyrics.
Yes, ma'am. It really does. Like, music controls a lot, actually. That's daily.
All right, we're going to get ready to let you all go. I know you got something to do, but we appreciate y'all coming by. It's so nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Come back.
Come back,
Yes,
young man.
Uncle ain't never need me.
Yeah.
Take him one call away.
Bring him with you.
And some other, hey. Because y'all don't know, man. A lot of young generation want to hear from y'all.
Mm-hmm.
We tried to get younger folks to get a show.
Yeah.
Just a half-hour show to come on and, y'all, hey, that's something. Just get y'all some food for thought, man. Get your show.
Podcast. Real Fade Podcast.
You ain't got, this podcast is here live. You come on in.
People need to hear this.
They need to hear it.
They need to.
Yeah, especially from a young person
And
perspective.
it's crazy you say that, though, because I actually was thinking about doing something like that in my shop one time. Like you just said about like I just said about the podcast.
They do podcasts out of barbershops.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I wanted to do it because I wanted to do like barbershop interviews, like have guys come in, like somebody that's doing something important, like have some guys come in.
You lying, right. That's awesome, man.
So it's something I have been wanting to do.
Hey, it's just a word.
Just a word away.
All right, we appreciate y'all for coming and stopping by. You gotta come back. Coulter, you gotta bring them back.
Hey,
they
open invitation.
If they want to come catch the vibe too, they can all come get a haircut.
There you go. Tell them where you at, man. Make sure you tell them.
Boulevard where Holman Transmission was at 1505 Gardner Boulevard. I take walk-ins and appointments. Whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
All right, I'm glad.
I'm gonna get you in and out.
I'm glad you're doing that. You got your life together, got on track, and trying to reach back and help others.
Yes, ma'am.
That's great. All right. We're going to let y'all go, so we don't want you to be late.
Because they got 11 o'clock coming up.
All right,
hey, man, I appreciate y'all, man. You be here from me.
Appreciate y'all.
Sure. Y'all be
All right, y'all
It
do
was
the
good.
same.
Thank
Nice meeting you all.
Yes, sir. We got you covered, bro.
I got to still do the application by that 5.
Yeah, he told me he called you and told you what to do. Okay.
All right.
Great.
All right, we got a few more minutes. We're getting ready to count down. We got another broadcast coming up, and appreciate you for, telling them about the station and him wanting to share his testimony. And it's good when you can see a turnaround like that, that you don't have to go back to prisons, once you've been in there.
I'm glad he brought that young man, so you got to hear right here from a young 18-year-old man on how they feel and their thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
And he is some things I took away from him. He said he has a father in his life.
Mm-hmm.
He says mom took him so far, his daddy had to take over. Mm-hmm. And he learned a lot of things. And he says a lot of negativity. He tried to keep a lot of negativity out. And he also made mention of he's in college. He's 18. He graduated from high school. He's in college, just trying to better himself. And but he said the streets, he didn't like what's going on in the streets. But okay,
right, like he, going in the right direction.
Right.
Right. Apparently he graduated early. If he's already in college.
He's 18. Could have graduated. Yeah, he probably just enrolled, or you got dual enrollment. You got kids going to college now at 17. Dual enrollment.
Right. And some of them are.
They be graduating when they're 19 from junior college.
Right. And they're ready to go on into their junior year.
Right.
So that's commendable, being an African American young male. And it's so good to have your head on straight.
Right.
Have your head on straight. And that comes through teaching and wisdom. Apparently his father was putting the right information there.
Well, he said, I love my father. He keep me here versus shun me away and I'm there. But you have to have the mamas that will give that son back to the daddy and say, hey, you know.
And sometimes mamas do that, you know, sometimes when the child start giving them problems when they could have been involved all the while.
All the time, yeah.
You know,
yeah.
Not waiting until they start. I'm not saying that it's case, but sometimes when they start growing up, you know, get that masculine voice, they think that they're
a man.
A man.
Because your voice don't get deeper.
And sometimes they might want to control the house.
And let me tell you something. Being the youngest of 6, I found out what not to do with my older brothers. They taught me what not to do with Cool Cat 4. But that is a big guy. So I would sit back and watch what not to do. And I heard these words uttered before. Oh, you a man now. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, they had to back down and be a son now.
So when a child starts thinking that they are grown, you know, some people say they start smelling themselves.
Or that little woman they love got them all jacked up, got them thinking they He-Man. You know, you a man, you ain't got to listen to what he say. See, you know, I had an older brother. He caught it from my daddy, but then at the end of the day, he realized daddy was right.
Mm-hmm. And that's what happened to a lot of children. You know, when the parents trying to tell you what's right, you know, you wanted to kind of go your own way. You have to come back a lot of time and say, hey, you was right.
Yeah.
They had to learn for themselves.
Right.
Good morning, caller.
Yes, ma'am. 2 things. Mr. Hendricks, I may not see the action over the air. Did you go to the post office yet?
I have not yet.
Okay. Well, to the gentleman, he mentioned about sometime my oldest son had to come back to me. When he got to the 10th grade, he told his mother he didn't want to go to school anymore. So I had to put him back in high school here in Tuscaloosa. He went back. He went to A&M a year, then he went to Rutgers, got a job there, 25 years. Now his son is a senior at Rutgers. He graduated the year coming up. A senior at Rutgers. He went to Rutgers free, but he was a big boy. He was weighing 180 pounds. And his mother, he just told his mother after the 10th grade he wasn't interested in school. He wasn't a bad boy. He just told him he wasn't interested. So I brought him to Alabama. He graduated from Central on 15th Street in 1979. And he worked at Rutgers 25 years, retired, and got his degree. And now his son's getting his. But I was always in his life. It was never a month or whatever it was that he didn't get his money from me. I stayed in my children's lives, and they all went and graduated from college, even those who weren't with me. So that father is this linchpin, but particularly so for boys. And so again, that's just a story I wanted to tell because I noticed that, and I had to do the same thing for my 2 younger brothers. But because boys will stand the fear of men oftentimes, but oftentimes women have a hard time. Good mothers, but have a hard time dealing with males, with boys. Am I right, sir?
That's true.
Especially when they start.
Thank you, sir, for coming. And I look forward to hearing your voice in the future.
All right. Thank you, sir.
All right. Especially when young men start growing up, you know, they need sometimes that male figure.
They got us. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. But sometimes they think now they can overpower their mama just because they got these muscles and different things. But
I see some tough mamas.
Yeah, you got.
I see some mamas go upside some heads. You better sit down.
It's all how you raise them.
Right. I've seen some tough mamas. My mama's tough. I'm telling you a quick story of how, you know, Father's Day is coming up. And my mother and father never really argued. And one day all my other brothers was home from college, you know, big old guys, playing football and stuff. And I was the youngest sitting there. And my daddy and my mama got to arguing. Mm-hmm. I've never seen them get to argue. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Hello?
Hold on just a minute, okay?
No, go ahead.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead, caller.
Yes, I was just calling for something on that when y'all was talking about the young men coming up. Yeah.
What was your comment on that?
But the young men coming up, yeah, they need to get men open their life and doing the right thing. but they need that mom at home too, setting that example, because it's no good though if they have to go back home until that mom doing everything, even though you got a good dad there trying to just teach him up to be a good young man, and then when you go back home, mom is your cousin, mom is just doing all these other things. So it's kind of like an in-between thing. He had to just make that decision so that the mom plays a role in that too.
You need that mother with it, they say.
Yeah, you need that mother too now.
Yeah.
That mother a lot of times do a lot of
But
teaching.
that dad is just doing all that he can. He's showing him he got to get up and go to work, or he was telling him you got to go to school and do this and get like the job that you want. You have to just choose. So he's guiding his son. Yeah, but if that mom ain't just setting a good example out for his kid, hey, it's kind of like the devil and then God.
That's true.
Oh my God.
You know, the mom, and yeah, they played a part in it too. Even though that the man is the head of the house, yeah, but that woman, yeah, she got to be, she got to come down. Because if she doesn't come down, watch those kids.
All right, you're right. Right.
All right then.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you. Go ahead and finish your story. We're gonna get ready.
All 6 of my brothers was home from college and everything, and Center State big old football players. And my mother and father got to arguing, and my daddy never hit my mama, or never act like he did. And he said, you gonna make me just hit you upside the head. All of my brothers stopped eating and looked down at that cat. He's at the head of the table, and my daddy looked down there. He looked around the table, and he said, "Oh, okay." He got up from the table and went in the other room and sat down. And see, I wanted a new bike then. I wanted a little mini bike. So I went in there and said, Daddy, I want to let all them jokers whoop you. I'm on your side. And he said, and my daddy's in there grumbling. I ain't mean nothing. Your mama got them thinking they gonna whoop me and all like that. That ain't nothing. You just got the boys thinking they gonna whoop me. And I laughed. Well, we laughed about that till we got old. But my brother said they had never heard my daddy say that. You gonna make me. What he meant was just hit upside. This shit think what he meant. But he didn't mean hit her upside the head,
Right.
And all them jokers stopped eating and looked down there at him. I said, I scooted that boy.
All right, that's going to do it for us. Well, you all have a great day. We appreciate you today.
Yeah.
All right, until next time, God bless. Stay tuned.